only are you a great singer, you're also a great rapper. You're also a great...
In a world where fame can be built overnight and destroyed in a single tweet, one artist dared to play by her own rules. She came from the digital age, a girl who turned memes into music, chaos into art, and controversy into a career. Her name? Doja Cat. From quirky internet beginnings to Grammy-winning stardom, Doja Cat has become one of the most unpredictable forces in modern pop. She can make the world dance one moment and ignite outrage the next. But behind the wigs, the humor, and the viral moments lies a woman constantly reinventing herself, battling the pressures of fame, identity, and expectation. So, how did a teenager making songs in her bedroom evolve into one of the most talked about and polarizing stars of her generation? This is the untold story of Doja Cat, the rise, the fall, and the fearless reinvention of a pop rebel. Before she became Doja Cat, she was Amala Dlamini, born on October 21, 1995, in Los Angeles, California. Her world was a mix of rhythm and rebellion long before she ever held a microphone. Her father, Amala Dlamini, was a South African actor and performer known for the Broadway musical Sarafina, while her mother, Deborah Sawyer, was a Jewish-American painter. But the two worlds never truly met. Her father remained distant, leaving young Amala to be raised almost entirely by her mother in a modest Los Angeles apartment. Growing up, she was a child of contrasts, surrounded by color and creativity, yet haunted by loneliness. She spent hours on the internet, drawing, dancing, and exploring strange corners of online culture. Music became her escape. At 12, she taught herself to rap and sing using YouTube instrumentals. By 14, she was recording songs on a cracked laptop, mixing humor, sensuality, and chaos, the DNA of the star she'd one day become. Her childhood wasn't glamorous, but from that solitude came imagination. And from imagination, a voice that refused to sound like anyone else. Doja Cat was born not in luxury, but in loneliness, and she turned that silence into sound. The story of Doja Cat's rise didn't begin in a studio. It began in a bedroom filled with secondhand equipment, glowing screens, and endless imagination. As a teenager, Amala uploaded tracks to SoundCloud, blending dreamy R&B with offbeat humor. Her first song, So High, caught attention for its hypnotic tone and mysterious aesthetic. It was raw, strange, and utterly different, a glimpse of an artist who would never fit the mold. In 2014, her SoundCloud success landed her a deal with RCA Records. But fame didn't come overnight. Her debut EP, Purr, went mostly unnoticed, and Doja disappeared for years, experimenting quietly in her room, crafting a sound that was playful yet powerful. Then, in 2018, she changed everything with one absurd idea, a meme song about being a cow. Moo! Wasn't supposed to be serious. She filmed it in her room wearing a cow print outfit, joking about milkshakes and hamburgers. But the internet exploded. Millions watched. Within days, Doja Cat became a viral sensation. Critics laughed, but Doja laughed louder. She had done what no one else could: turn irony into influence, humor into fame. Behind the memes, there was real talent, a singer, rapper, producer, and performer who understood the digital era better than anyone else. Doja Cat had just stepped into the spotlight, and the world had no idea what was coming next. When Moo went viral, many dismissed Doja Cat as a joke, a meme that would fade as quickly as it appeared. But instead of fading, she evolved. In 2019, Doja dropped Hot Pink, an album that redefined her career. Fusing R&B, pop, hip-hop, and disco, it was bold, sensual, and unapologetically weird. A kaleidoscope of sound that no one could ignore. Then came Say So. The song, produced by Dr. Luke, became an unstoppable force on TikTok, with millions of users dancing to its retro funk groove. Almost overnight, Doja Cat transformed from internet oddity to global pop superstar. Say So hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, earning her Grammy nominations and collaborations with Ariana Grande, The Weeknd, and Nicki Minaj. She wasn't just another pop star, she was a chameleon. Every performance, every outfit, every video told a story. One day she was a pink-haired alien goddess, the next a seductive cyberpunk villain. Doja had mastered the art of reinvention, blurring the line between music, fashion, and performance art. Her charisma was magnetic, her humor unfiltered, and her creativity unmatched. At the height of her fame, she commanded stages, memes, and headlines with the same ease. She had the world dancing and talking. But behind the flawless visuals and Grammy glitz, fame brought pressure. The spotlight that once celebrated her eccentricity began dissecting it. Every tweet, every lyric, every live stream became ammunition for judgment. Doja Cat had conquered the world, but the higher she climbed, the more people waited for her to fall. At the height of her fame, Doja Cat was everywhere. Award shows, charts, memes, headlines, but as quickly as the internet builds its heroes, it loves to tear them down. In 2020, a storm began to brew. Old footage resurfaced, clips of Doja chatting in online forums accused of racist undertones. The internet exploded with outrage. She was accused of mocking her heritage, of being anti-black, of being the very thing she had fought against. Doja defended herself, tearful yet defiant, saying, "I've never hated myself or where I come from." But the damage was done. For the first time, her chaotic humor, once her greatest strength, became her biggest weapon turned against her. Then came another blow, her rocky relationship with her own fans. When her followers demanded she say "I love you" or perform certain songs, she snapped back online, "I don't even know y'all." It was the kind of honesty that most stars avoid. And it sent social media into meltdown. The same audience that once crowned her the queen of pop now called her ungrateful. Hashtags like "Doja is over" party trended worldwide. But even in the chaos, there was something raw and human about it all. Doja wasn't pretending to be perfect. She was messy, emotional, unpredictable. And in an industry built on fake smiles, that honesty was almost revolutionary. Still, the backlash took its toll. She deleted posts, vanished for weeks, and questioned her place in the spotlight. Was it over? Or was this just another transformation? For Doja Cat, destruction was never the end. It was the beginning of something darker, bolder, and unapologetically her. When Doja Cat returned in 2023, she didn't come back to please anyone. She came back to provoke. Gone was the pink-haired pop princess from Say So. In her place stood something darker, sharper, more powerful. She called this transformation Scarlet. The visuals were unsettling. Blood-red tones, demonic symbols, shaved head, and bold statements against fame itself. Doja wasn't trying to be loved anymore. She was daring the world to look and really see her. With songs like Paint the Town Red and Demons, she confronted her critics head-on. She mocked cancel culture, dissected the fake perfection of celebrity, and redefined what it meant to control one's own image. Critics called her new era disturbing. Fans called it genius. Either way, Doja Cat had once again forced pop culture to evolve around her. She wasn't chasing trends. She was setting them on fire. This was not just reinvention. It was rebirth through rebellion. For Doja, every controversy, every scar, every headline became a brushstroke in a larger piece of performance art. She had turned pain into spectacle, mockery into mastery. Doja Cat was no longer just an entertainer. She had become a symbol of creative defiance in the age of social media. And she wasn't asking for forgiveness. She was demanding attention. Doja Cat's story is more than a tale of fame. It's a mirror reflecting the chaos of the digital age. She was born on the internet, shaped by its memes, destroyed by its outrage, and resurrected by its obsession. In a world that demands perfection, she chose authenticity. Even when it was uncomfortable, even when it cost her fans. She made mistakes in public, argued online, and reinvented herself in ways no one expected. But through it all, she never stopped creating. From Moo to Say So to Paint the Town Red, her music remains a reflection of freedom. Messy, loud, fearless, and alive. She turned the digital landscape into her stage, using chaos as choreography and criticism as fuel. To some, she's controversial. To others, she's a genius. But no one can deny this. Doja Cat changed what it means to be a pop star in the 21st century. Her story isn't about being liked. It's about being real. Because in an era where fame is fleeting and perfection is fake, Doja Cat reminds us of something powerful. That true artistry isn't born from approval, but from unapologetic self-expression. This is the legacy of Doja Cat, the rebel who turned the internet's noise into her own symphony. Narrator, closing CTA. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more untold journeys behind Hollywood's brightest and most controversial stars.